All right, guys, we've been talking about Georgia O'Keeffe in art class today and other American artists, and today we're going to be drawing a flower in her style using oil pastels. I'm going to start by just putting in a little circle on my paper. Now you can see that I'm kind of not exactly in the middle, but I'm over to the side a bit, and I'm not exactly in the middle this way either. I'm down a bit. That's called the rule of thirds. That's kind of good composition to put something right there as a focal point. Most of the time, whenever you're looking at a flower, you might see some kind of extra little details or some kind of texture. So we're going to go ahead and just add a few little circles around the edge of that. We might even put a few dots in there too, and we're going to come back and add extra colors in just a minute. Now from here, we're going to draw a nice big curved line that goes all the way off the edge of our paper. These are going to be huge petals, and I'm going to add about 5 lines here. If you get more lines or fewer lines, that's okay. All right, but each one of these is going to be a great big petal to our flower. Now, whenever I get ready to color that middle part, and I'm going to let you guys use any color that you want, I'm going to go ahead and start with yellow. I'm going to fill that in right there, and I'm going to let it go right on, whoop, mine broke a little bit, right onto the edges there, and that lets the colors kind of blend together a bit. You can see how the purple and the yellow are blending together some. I can come in with each one of these and do the same thing, and those colors mix together. And the cool thing about oil pastels is that sometimes the colors can mix just like paint, and you can come up with brand new colors. You could even introduce something else. Maybe I'll go ahead and color on top of this with a little orange and see what happens. I'll go right along the edge and let those colors mix together. Ooh, I start to get some really cool stuff happening there. Now, a lot of the times, whenever you see a flower petal, it's not one solid color covering this whole thing. You might have a light color that transitions into a medium and into a dark color, and that's actually what we're going to do today. I'm going to start just with a pink right here on the edge, but you can use any colors you want. I don't care. You guys can just have fun with this. And I'm going to start by putting some pink right here close to the edge. Then I'm going to add some red right next to that. Now I'm going to go ahead and blend these colors together. Now right now they're not blended. I put them next to each other. If I want to blend my colors, I have to go on top of the one I put down first. And I lighten my pressure just a little bit. I'm not pushing down quite as hard. Then I take that pink and I come back over both of them. And you see how that blends the colors together? Yeah. All right, that is really fun stuff to do. Now I'm going to introduce another color. Maybe I'll let that transition into some blue. And maybe I'll even let that go into a darker blue, kind of purple. That's the color I started with. Now, have I blended those two blues together yet? No. Nope, not yet. I have to come in here and let them go on top of each other. And that's when those colors blend and we get the really cool stuff happening. I can take my blue into my red. I can take my red into my blue. And you don't have to push down as hard whenever you're blending. You can let them blend lightly. And I can take my purple, or my indigo blue, I guess is really what that is, on top of that one. Now sometimes on flower petals you'll also get some other interesting textures that happen. Like maybe you might have some lines or something that repeat. Go ahead and put those in and let those colors blend a little bit. And oh my goodness, you get some cool stuff happening. Now, flowers are also really good about creating shadows and highlights. I like to keep a little black and a little white handy whenever I'm doing flowers like this. On one side of the petal, I'm going to add some white. And I'm going to go ahead and blend that in. Let it mix right on top of the others. And that looks like a highlight area where the light's hitting. And then on the other side, I like adding a little bit of black. And this starts to look like a deep, dark shadow. If I wanted to blend it in a little bit, I could. That's all right. And sometimes I like to even take some of the colors that I put in the middle and mix those in. And it kind of helps it look like it's all in the same world, same lighting. So I'll take a little bit of yellow and put on top of that too. So I'm not afraid to just mix those colors right on top of each other all the way to the edges. Whenever I do that, it unifies the whole piece together, gives it unity, and helps those colors really come together. So that's just one petal. I'm going to take that same technique and I'm going to repeat it on each one of these sections and fill my whole page, and this is going to look really cool. Now here's one that's a little bit further along like that. Now I have a question. Is this one blended or not blended? Not blended. Remember, you have to take those colors and put them on top of each other. You can't just put them next to each other. You have to not be afraid to color right on top. Alright, so you can see I take that red into the blue. I take that blue into the red. You can even use the side of your pastel if you want to. Alright, I take the light blue into the dark blue. And you guys can pick and choose your colors however you want to on this. You don't have to use the same ones that I did. And then look what happens whenever you have the white on one side and the black on the other side, and you repeat that. White, black, then white and black, white and black. Okay, so here I need to add white again right here. And am I missing some black? Yeah, I need to get a little bit of black right in here. And that starts to create some of those shadows for me. See that? I could even come in here and I can deepen this up a little bit, create some more shadows in that area. I could even go around every single one of these too if I wanted to. Alright, and we got some really cool stuff happening. This is a really good project to just experiment on with some color blending and just see what you get. You get all kinds of beautiful things happening.
Can we like